I'm Anastasia Chatzka, a fashion designer with over 20 years of experience and a sewing educator. And I'm really excited you're here to share another sewing adventure with me today. Welcome to Sewing Anastasia, and today we are going to crop a tank top. I'm always wearing high-waisted things and my t-shirts are always way too long, hence why I have my t-shirt knotted up right now. So I've got a new Sewing Anastasia tank top and we are going to crop it. You could just take your scissors and chop off the bottom and be done with it, but I'm going to show you how to finish the edge, and it is so easy. So that way you're not falling apart and looking tattered. You're going to have a nice finished hem. If you're not already a subscriber to Sewing Anastasia, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know when all the new videos come out. And if you're already a subscriber, thank you so much for subscribing and following me on my sewing adventures. I'm now also teaching sewing classes here in my design studio in Chicago, Illinois, and I'm teaching them virtually as well. You can check out all the classes at sewinganastasia.com. Supplies for this project are super simple. You're going to need some matching thread. You're also going to need your rotary cutter or some scissors, and you're going to need a ruler. And you're going to need one fabulous shirt that you can crop. The first thing you need to do is try on your shirt and figure out how much fabric do you need to cut off. And then make sure you add a 1/2 inch because we need a 1/2 inch to be able to finish the hem to turn it up. So I measured from the bottom up and I'm gonna be cutting off 6 inches. And that includes the 1/2 inch that I left for my seam allowance. So I've laid my ruler down where I need to cut and I've got my rotary cutter and I'm just gonna cut off that 6 inches. If you don't have a rotary cutting mat and a rotary cutter and a quilting ruler, you can also just use a ruler and chalk with some scissors. Okay, and let's just cut through both layers all the way to the end, and voila! We have made this tank top shorter. Now that we have shortened our tank top, we need to finish the edge. So let's head over to the sewing machine and finish this edge. Before we start sewing, you need to take your tank top and turn it inside out. If you're using a stretch fabric, you're going to need to put on your 4-step zigzag, which is the broken zigzag stitch. If you're using a woven fabric, you can just use the regular zigzag stitch. The broken zigzag stitch is going to allow your fabric to stretch because it has some extra give in it. You don't want your stitches popping while you're wearing your garment. So make sure if you're using a knit fabric that you're using that 4-step zigzag stitch. A straight stitch will not work for this. You will be very unhappy if you try doing this with a straight stitch on a knit fabric. It's going to stretch and pull and look wavy, and it's going to be pretty funky looking. I have my 4-step zigzag stitch selected so you can see the little dashed stitches in between the bigger zigzag stitches. This is going to allow for the stretch. I have my shirt inside out, and now I'm going to go ahead and fold this up a 1/2 inch because that's what I allowed for my hem. So I'm going to fold it up a 1/2 inch, and now when I start zigzagging, I'm going to zigzag on the raw edge of the fabric so that way it encases it in the stitch and it won't fall apart. Don't forget the back stitch, and let's continue all the way around. Back stitch at the end and cut. We did it! We hemmed it, and that was so easy. So let's take a look at the stitch and how the seam looks. Look at how beautiful that raw edge looks. It's covered in the zigzag stitch and it still stretches. Beautiful. So you'll notice one side of the zigzag comes all the way over the edge, and then it comes back and over the edge and back and over the edge. So that way it's keeping it down in place, it's nice and flat, and it's not gonna let that raw edge of the knit fabric unravel or come apart. Check it out, it looks great. It's nice and cropped, and now I can wear it with my high-waisted skirts and shorts. Thanks so much for watching Sewing Anastasia today. If you have any questions about cropping your top, leave it down below and I will get back to you as soon as possible. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, leave a comment down below, and give us an applause. I would also love to see your projects, so make sure you tag me at Sewing Anastasia so that way I can repost them on social media. And make sure you follow me on social media on Facebook and Twitter and TikTok and Instagram, full of pictures and inspiration, right? So let's stay inspired inspired and follow each other on social media. And don't forget, I'm now teaching those sewing classes in person and virtually, and you can check out information on those at sewinganastasia.com. Thanks so much for watching. Bye!